Can anybody hear me? Just let me know in the comments. Can anybody hear me? Like I said, this is my first time doing the live stream on a different computer, so... okay. Hi everybody, this is Black Rhino Ranger. I'm back, baby. Had a rough few months and had to... because of a loss of one of my relatives, my computer decided to die on me, so I had to get myself a brand new one. And not to mention trying to help my family in life and with the Chinese New Year traditions. It's all a jumble from here. So anyways, for this occasion, I'm doing a Chinese New Year live stream. Now, some of you might be saying to me, didn't I already do a Chinese New Year live stream? Why, yes, I have. I have done so before, but that was mainly to focus on the Chinese zodiac. You know, the rats, the ox, the tiger, the rabbit, the dragon, the snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, and the boar. This time, we're trying a little something different. We're doing yet another one of those animation live stream hybrids where I ask people to include some characters and they become full-fledged animations later on. So for this occasion, I'm going to do something quite different. Now over here, let me just move this a little bit. Over here is a dish which in the more specific term is called a prosperity toss. It is also known in China as Yusheng, and in most parts of Southeast Asia as Yee Sang. Basically, it's a type of traditional dish where a group of people gather around, bring out their chopsticks, and toss the salad with some raw fish in the middle and transform it into a salad. Now granted, this is not my favorite dish. In fact, for Chinese New Year, I often prefer roast duck. But my family does this every year, so I thought maybe I introduce it to you guys. So for this occasion, let me just zoom back up. All I ask for you guys is to ask me to draw any of these any character you want, as long as they're simple to do, and have them gather on the table, and Black Rhino Ranger is gonna tell them what to do. And later, I'll ask you all to draw their hands, these hands right over here with the chopsticks and stuff. So first, okay, so now you don't have to choose any number order. They can be in any order you want. So which number should I go first? Should I go with 11 or 10 next to Black Rhino Ranger? Or should I go with the bottom with number 1? Which one do you want me to draw? Plusle. Oh, one of that Pokemon, that Pikachu wannabe Pokemon. There's a lot of those. Didn't I say that already? All right. All right. Let's that the person wants one. Let's bring in a classic favorite of mine. Oops. Now, if you have nothing to now, in case you're wondering, am I going to open my super chat system? Not for now, but probably for February 29th, because I do have something in mind for that date. As for because I'm still getting used to the new live stream tools and my new computer, for now I'm just doing a regular I'm just doing a normal live stream. So here is Trigger Happy, and if you have nothing to request, just ask me any question. Okay, that's one request down, and also I gotta draw Trigger Happy's hand. It's always important to draw the hand of a particular character. Now, if I come into any snags when I make this animation, then I will indeed try and fix it off screen before I fully present it. And the delay won't be too bad because Chinese New Year is, like I said, celebrated for 15 days. No, that one's a... I'm not sure if I can do 6-shot because I don't know every transformer in every angle. Oh, actually, I do know every name of every transformer in G1, but I haven't looked at every single angle. I mean, there are some descriptions like Bruticus has 3 spots on his back. Okay, anyways, Trigger Happy is done. Oops. Oops, sorry. There you go. Okay, who's next? Who's number 2, or who else is around here? Sparky from Frankie Mini, isn't he a little too quadrupled instead of bipedal? Let's see. Korumai. Okay, that's a new one. Okay, what questions are there? What questions do you have for me? I want you to draw, just draw. Okay, nobody's asking any other questions. Admittingly, I never heard of Word Girl before, except when I was looking up for how many characters Weird Al Yankovic has voiced, and the character he plays in Word Girl is the Learnerer, or was it the Worderer or something? I think it was the Learnerer, where he keeps making these strange. The way he says some words is kind of strange. And he even questions, what's a suffix again? Okay, let's color her in. This will do. And in her hair is nope, that was not right. In case you're wondering, fellas, am I ever going to get my hands on a brand new version of Adobe Animate? Yes, actually, I do have my hands on Adobe Animate, but I tried to load my old Flash files onto Adobe Animate, the latest one, and unfortunately it kept reading an error. So I had to resort to reinstalling my old Macromedia Flash 8, and things went better in the end. Okay, and chopsticks again. But I will say this: since I do have Adobe Animate, I might use that for some of the more advanced animations. if I were to do a few more advanced animations, like an advanced 360 thing. I also got my hands on a brand new video editing software which can help me do better green screen effects. Before I had just regular Sony Vegas Platinum, which was also a very old software. It was basically like a simple version of the green screen editing stuff. I'll have to do some testing on. I'll have to do some tests on that part, but I'll get around to it. Just give me one small step at a time. Okay, Word Girl is done. Any questions or any requests? So, let's see. Who we got? Who else we got? Do you know YouTuber Prime versus Prime? I do not know that person, but the name makes me think of the Transformers G1 episode, A Prime Problem, where Megatron clones Optimus Prime, and he uses it to infiltrate Autobot headquarters and pretends to make Optimus Prime, the clone Optimus Prime, the real Optimus Prime, and have the Autobots lure into some crystal valley, death crystals. Let's see here. Charlie. Wait, oh, Charlie, you mean the guy from Smiling Friends, the guy with the big nose. Well, the most I remember from him is being saved by Gilbert Gottfried. No, I mean Gilbert Gottfried. He's like, a deal. Quick, Charlie, get on! And then he tosses Charlie, and he says, Merry Christmas! Ew, what a god. You could say one of Gilbert Gottfried's last rows before his death was a godly way to end his career. Again, rest in peace. And one more thing, his bits of hair at the back. Now I have not seen Smiling Friends, but from what I've heard, it's one of the least raunchy type of adult shows. Well, the clip I saw with Gilbert Gottfried, I didn't hear too much swearing coming out of it. Unlike, say, South Park, or in recent cases has been Hotel. Here we go. We have Charlie from Smiling Friends. Okay, so I only saw the first episode of Smiling Friends. Okay. Let's see. one of the I'm just trying to think of what to say. If you got any questions, just feel free to ask. Then I can probably keep chatting to keep this live stream a little bit more interesting and a little less silency, let's say. Because one complaint I got from my live streams is that a lot of people say my streams are either a little too quick. I mean too silent because I was too busy. I'm more focused on trying to do some drawing rather than having to respond to other people's questions. So sometimes I do try to answer as many questions as I can. How do I put this? Sometimes you try to focus a lot more on the character that trying to perfect on drawing the character, let's say, that you have trouble concentrating on what to draw and what to read or write, speak at the same time. Actually, that's not quite. Sometimes you lose your train of thought while you're drawing, like you might be accidentally drawing something else. Like, I know this is a cartoon, but I took this advice from Batman the Animated Series, where Batman says that one part of a dream, the visual parts of your, that on the right side or the left side of the brain, like the left side presents the visuals, while the right side presents the writing and verbal written stuff. Hence why whenever he's asleep, he's unable to read properly because everything is all muddled up. And especially when you're writing, it can be quite distracting when you're listening to some music and writing a song at the same and writing something at the same time because you accidentally write the lyrics to the song. Or you hear somebody else do some narrating over a book, like, "The little fairy, so little as she, her boat did suddenly inside a bee, something, down a bus, to a garden of dust." Garden of dust. Hey, pipe down! If I don't finish this essay, I'm off the team, man. Oh yeah, there's something I forgot. Let me just finish coloring the character first. I'll get back to that in a moment. Oops. The portrayals of basilisk in most version, the portrayals of basilisk tend to vary a bit. I mean, of course, they say that it's a body of a snake and in some cases a head of a chicken, or just a giant snake overall, or something, but they do try to add in some extra things to make it more interesting, like the Harry Potter basilisk has that creepy stare. Here. No, that will not do right. I can't. Then in the Owl House, they added a thing where they absorb magic. The basilisk we have is nothing more but a lizard that can run on water. So you're probably wondering what's that. Now that I've kind of finished this part, you're probably wondering what's the thing I forgot to do. That's what I forgot to do. Let's let me just Oops, that was a that's. I just needed a test in case I forgot something. So it feels like Draw Gutsman. Let's see. Did any of you guys watch the Asian Cup final? I did see a little bit of it. My dad was watching it the other just recently. I didn't stick around with it. I don't know. I never really had a gigantic interest in football. I think I might have said this before, but one time I was in PE in school, and the reason why I stopped playing football. Wait, I just forgotten what the colors were. Okay, just remembering what the colors were, so I can come back to it. Is because I was this guy. So I was playing PE, and they were playing soccer or European football, and we were playing a bit, and then suddenly I got kicked in places where I cannot mention in case YouTube may demonetize me. And it was so painful, I had to be excused from playing the game. It was just too painful because the people were so into soccer. They were just like playing it like not giving anybody else a chance. They took it way too seriously. Let's say, debatably more seriously than basketball. And one more. Oops, that came out wrong. And from that day off, I swore off of football from that day forth. And if I had any choice of physical education, I would just go on the treadmill, or just do some weights. Are you not pleased with Mickey Mouse in becoming a horror movie? I'm not surprised. Since a character is in the public domain, expect something to go into horror. Now that Mickey Mouse is in the public domain, you can literally have Mickey whatever you want him. You can have him a space ranger, just like Buzz Lightyear. You can have him a zookeeper. You can have him a person in the Chinese zodiac race, and he be number one. In fact, I'm actually curious to how many stuff in the stuff that is made in nowadays. Like anything that's made today. What would they be like in 100 years? What would they be like had they entered the public domain in nearly 100 years? Okay, what's the next one? Oh yeah, Jax. Which Jax, the bunny or the muscular robotic arms man? Now that's my Jax. All right. Let me have a look. Funny thing is that every time I look up just Jax, I don't automatically get the Amazing Digital Circus guy, nor do I automatically get the Mortal Kombat one, which I'm the most familiar with. Instead, the one I'm getting is from League of Legends. Even though I don't know how many people know that one. I guess League of Legends must be very popular, and I'm just not very aware of it. Anyways, what was I on the bunny? Now, anyway, what was I said about the 100 years thing? Oh yeah, when I can imagine that if anything that was being rebooted in about 50 to 100 years, what would they be like? In fact, I can imagine if somebody were to reboot the Loud House in about 50 to 100 years. I bet the characters might change a bit. In fact, in a similar case with Nick Fury from Marvel or any of the She-Ra characters, the Loud sisters might get adopted and race swapped. And some people might prefer them when they're race swapped rather than what they were originally. Again, look at Nick Fury. He was originally a white man, but with the Ultimate Nick Fury being quite popular, they decided, and even the Marvel Cinematic Universe Nick Fury, played by Samuel L. Jackson, they'd be like, you know what, that Nick Fury is getting a lot of fans. Let's kill off the white Nick Fury and replace him with his adoptive son, Nick Fury Jr., who is black. And that's how it came to be. I'm not knocking this idea off. I just think it is a possibility that something like this might happen to the Loud House if it were to be rebooted in about 50 or more years. Any other show you think might be reboot? What changes do you think might happen if had they be rebooted in 50 or more years, or if they go in the public domain in about 100 years, long after we're all gone? Okay, that's Jax. What else? If Hazbin Hotel goes in the public domain, he might make it a kids show. How can you make Hazbin Hotel a kids show? That's like saying. That's like saying. Now, granted, there are some properties which definitely meant more for an older audience, but I can see them being retooled for kids, or be a kids show. For example, Deadpool. I know we tend to enjoy him more for being bloody and having a bit of language, but I don't know. I was introduced to him as a kid through some Marvel games, like Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2. The number 2, of course, is made by the same people who made Skylander Swap Force, which is Vicarious Visions, nowadays called Blizzard Albany. I heard the guy who made Spawn, he of course Spawn is definitely not for kids. I mean, they made a HBO animated series, and it was very bloody and disturbing. They even had him guest appear in Mortal Kombat 11. Definitely not for kids. In fact, he I can't really say it, but he said something like, "Is there a man under all that sugar honey iced tea?" And RoboCop goes, "Bad language makes for bad feelings." Perfect. You're about to die, MF. Just trying to follow guidelines, people. Just trying to follow guidelines. um. Okay, that sounds weird. But to the guy who made I heard the guy who created Spawn, he is trying to make two different animated TV shows based on Spawn. One of them for kids and one for adults. I'm not sure how that would pan well, but it would be quite interesting. I mean, of course, there's the 1997 movie, which was a PG-13, but I'm sure not a lot of people want to remember that because of how bad some of the effects are, like the Malaboja design, where he looks like a very bad CGI puppet with of course Frank Welker playing the role. Normally, anytime he uses that Dr. Claw voice, it sounds quite intimidating. For this, it sounds very comical. Comical, I meant. Sounds very comical because of how we can't really take it very seriously. I'll have to figure out what Laurie's foot colors are like later. Let me shrink her a little bit. I think she's a little too big. Yeah, don't worry, she's Don't worry, some of them will be Paxton from Timmy Time. Now another one more thing, guys. Even though I am committed to doing live streams again after I got my monetization back, I still might want to do some requests live streams for some of the more advanced request challenges. For example, I'm not sure if I can do a Sonic live stream. What I can instead do is a Sonic request challenge. I actually might think about doing one for this month. I mean, this year, in June, because for actually, when did Sonic 3 come out? I mean, it was definitely in 1994, and this year will be its the 30th anniversary. Just like it's also going to be the 30th anniversary of somebody's existence. I wonder who it is. But let's say, even though I haven't really been gigantic on the Sonic franchise, I am aware that a lot of people are, and I did try and do as much research as I can. And I've enlisted a lot of Sonic characters for that spot, to a point where I don't think I can do a live stream on it. I think I might be willing to do a request challenge and give me some time to draw as many Sonic characters as possible. From some of the old ones, like Dr. Robotnik with Scratch, Grounder, and Coconuts, to some of the newer ones, like what was the name of those devil creatures again? I've forgotten what their names were. I think one of them starts with the letter Z or something. There's the pig. He kind of looks like Orson. Wait, I think I kind of messed up a little bit with the rabbit. Let me just Yeah, I thought there was something a little bit missing from that part. Anyways, I've only got yeah, fellas, we're just half an hour in. I've only got like 4 more entries to go. Huh, did I forget something again? I can't put my finger on it, but I think I am missing something. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, whoops, spoilers. What was I again? Oh yeah, okay. I can just literally just color this in because wait, did I color all right. I'm just reminding myself of how Jax is supposed to be colored. Sorry if I keep saying the Jack from Digital Circus's name like he's from Mortal Kombat. I mean, every time because I always love the announcer's voice in Mortal Kombat, where the way he announces characters like Liu Kang, Sonya, Jax, Kitana. I don't know if I can say the lyrics because I heard that some people have trouble with even when saying the lyrics they can still get copyright claimed. I don't know. There's even covers can get in trouble. Okay, this one's a little special. I'm actually not sure how he's gonna. I'm not sure. I think like this. Let me just Any questions? Any questions? Let's see here. Any questions? Any questions? Perhaps the ping pong in a dragon costume. It is in the year of the dragon. No. Maybe. I'm saving the dragon parts for later. Here. Uh-oh. Yeah, that was a crisscross. Do you watch the new Chicken Run? Yes, I have watched the new Chicken Run. I thought it was a good movie, but I will admit it is not as strong as the first one. The first one will always be more dear to me. Will always be quite dearest to me. I have noticed with Aardman, even they were kind of the kings of British animation in the past, but nowadays they seem to be a bit more on the safe side. I've noticed there's been a bit of a tonal shift with their movies. I mean, their earlier films were fantastic. Chicken Run, Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, debatably flushed away. Arthur Christmas, really loved that movie. Pirates, Band of Misfits. And Shaun the Sheep movie was also a surprisingly good film. Now, let's see. Alright, I'll include. But some of the. What was that character again? I keep forgetting. What was that character you wanted me? I keep. How do you? Okay. Now, but some of Aardman's more recent ones, they seem to be, like I said, a lot more on the safe side than storytelling. I mean, they're still masters at crafting great animation, but a lot of their recent films, like Early Man and maybe Shaun the Sheep Farmageddon, Chicken Run especially, Chicken Run 2, Dawn of the Nugget especially, they seem to be leaning more on the safe side. Their stories are a bit more predictable and not as engaging or as surprising as some of the previous ones. Well, I still don't think they are a bad studio, and I do think they can still do some good. I mean, I heard one of their Star Wars. They did a Star Wars Visions. I heard they did a Star Wars Visions short, and it turned out to be fantastic. I haven't seen it yet, but I plan to do so when I have the time. Now, I heard Star Wars Visions is kind of a bit like Love, Death, Robots in a way. It's an anthology series with different art styles. Yeah, my sister and my sister and her friend recommended that I take a peek at Love, Death, Robots someday. I don't know when. Hopefully soon. And same with Star Wars Visions. In spite of Chicken Run being a bit predictable, I am still optimistic to see what they have in store with Wallace and Gromit. They're making a second feature-length film after The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. And this seems like a perfect opportunity to take a peek at the I mean, of course, I am aware that this is the first stop. I'm not sure if this is the first. No, I know it's not the first stop motion thing without Peter Sallis, because he even before his retirement, and there was another voice actor named Ben Whitehead who took over. Who did take over Wallace's voice on some occasions, like the some of the commercials, like the one for the IPO for the Science Museum exhibition, and he also did for the video game series Wallace and Gromit: The Grand Adventures, the game. The last thing Peter Sallis did as Wallace was in World of Inventions, where it's partially stop motion, but it's also mostly a documentary. And yes, while it is sad to hear that he passed away and he had to retire because of his declining health, we can all agree he is the best Wallace. Whitehead isn't bad, but Sallis will always be the definite Wallace. So, let me see. Rollo Redstone, who's that? I do not know him. And speaking of Wallace and Gromit, spoilers for if you ever paid attention to my traditional little drawing pictures series, I have something else in mind for tomorrow. Can you try? Oh, I sometimes draw some things out of order. Never mind. And you know what happened to the Aardman figures and sets? Oh, you mean back in 2005 when, after they finished a film, at one point a fire happened and it caused all the Aardman sets archives to be burnt up. Huh. And whenever the characters had to be made again, they had to be start from scratch. In fact, when I went to I actually did, like I said, I have been to Aardman Studios at one point. Again, I was trespassing, but I was a 17-year-old brat. I didn't know any better. Anyways, and while there, I actually did manage to see the sets for how they filmed Wallace and Gromit's World of Inventions, and I actually got up close to the same windmill that was used to make A Matter of Life and Death. It was definitely a warm experience, but I don't think I should ever do. I probably should never do that stunt again because again, I'm trespassing on studio property can be a serious problem, especially with what happened with Kyoto Animation. Yeah. The person there was not happy with what was going on when he visited there. Tragedy struck, let's just say. Oh well, at least you had a mini tour despite you getting caught. Yes, at least I got off easily. But I'll try my dang hardest to. But I've learned my lesson that day to not. It is ambitious, but I didn't realize how dangerous it was. It's like trying to ask a voice actor who has officially voiced a character to play that character in a fan-made project. I have been informed that copyrights and licensing prevent that from ever happening. I had to learn that the hard way when I tried to ask Michelle Creeper to play Apple Bloom in a fan animation project back in 2012. I didn't know about contracts and stuff. I was like thinking to myself, how did Black Griffin do it? How did Black Griffin do it? How did they get their hand? How did they get Michelle Creeper involved? Oh, damn, I never knew about that. Anyways, what's next? What's next? Now, don't worry, fellas. If these last two entries didn't make it, I do have a surprise coming up. Anyways, who is it? Okay, this one may require a bit of extra detailing. And nope, that did not come out right. Um. The way I'm drawing this guy's skull, it reminds me of that brain creature from the original Teen Titans. And it makes sense. Since he was designed by the same guy who also did the original Teen Titans, but he also did Transformers Animated and Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc. and Ben 10 Omniverse. I heard his work was. I know a lot of people really enjoy Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc. and they often cite Mystery Inc. as their favorite incarnation of Scooby-Doo. But did you know that the designer's character at first was a bit divided? There are actually some people who actually liked the way he drew some characters, while others were pretty iffy on it. In fact, there was a handful of people from Transformers Animated who there was a handful of Transformers fans who actually did not enjoy the way the Transformers were designed by him, saying they looked way too much like Teen Titans, and some say a little too abstract and not machine enough. In fact, there's an article on Transformers called "Ruined Forever," where a lot of majority fan bases complain about that it's just not Generation 1 Transformers. It's just not Generation 1 Transformers. But some. Oh wait. It's no. That's not how I was supposed to do it. Oh, sorry. I have to do it again. Sorry. No. He's not supposed to react. He's supposed to. Well, some. Whoops. Anyways, what was I? Like I said, the article is called "Ruined Forever," where a lot of G1 fans keep ranting on about how it's just not G1 Transformers. It's just not G1 Transformers. And they really did not like it when Optimus Prime got killed off in the first Transformers movie. I think that's why I think that's why Hasbro perhaps had a rule that Optimus Prime can never be permanently killed off. If you're going to kill off Optimus Prime, fine, but only temporarily, and let's bring him back to life. You can never have him permanently killed. And the death of Optimus Prime is also why the G1 G.I. Joe, the movie, had one of its main characters get killed off, and then they added in this line, "He's gone into a coma," even though the script clearly says he was meant to die. Oops, I selected something by accident. And of course, there's the usual complaints about Beast Wars saying something about monkeys, even though Optimus Primal is an ape. Collectively, they are simians, but they are not apes. I don't think I did a very good job trying to draw animated Waspinator. And then in Beast Machines, another complaint is that the characters' transformations look weird. They don't look very natural. I know with Beast Machines it's supposed to represent techno-organic, but people would they just weren't eating it up. They thought it was just too weird, especially for Transformers' sakes. Even by Beast Wars standards. I cannot forget the Decepticon logo. Sorry if I'm taking a bit of time in doing this. I really do like Transformers Animated. And somebody gave me an opportunity to draw a character I'm quite familiar with. Did you know that Scott McNeil was originally supposed to ask Scott McNeil, the voice of Beast Wars Waspinator, to reprise his role as Waspinator in Animated, but unfortunately there was a since he was in Canada, since he was Canadian and he couldn't come to America without a permit, they had to have Tom Kenny take over. And funny enough, he's not the only Waspinator is not the only Scott McNeil character that got taken over by Tom Kenny. There was another Rattletrap, who was basically supposed to be the animated version of Rat Trap. And funny enough, Rattletrap is another character that's Bucktooth and is voiced by Tom Kenny, which also reminds me of another Transformer who's Bucktooth and voiced by Tom Kenny, Skids from Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. And of course, he also SpongeBob SquarePants. And another thing with the Transformers, series is that, and Transformers Animated, is that the episode Predacons Rising is written by the co-developers of Beast Wars themselves, Bob Forward and the late Larry DiTilio. They were the head writers of Beast Wars. And funny enough, they also had a hand in He-Man and She-Ra. I mean, they wrote a few episodes of the show, and Larry DiTilio even co-created She-Ra, Princess of Power. Here. And speaking of He-Man, I'm not sure if I can, or if I'm willing to do a He-Man or She-Ra live stream, but I am confident in doing a request challenge with them since I've seen nearly every He-Man and She-Ra incarnation. I've seen all 220 of the 223 of the 1980s He-Man and She-Ra cartoon. I saw all 39 of the 2002 He-Man, which had 2002 He-Man, which is the one I grew up with. And funny enough, also a lot of Beast Wars voice actors were involved, including Merman being voiced by Scott McNeil using his Waspinator-like voice. It's kind of weird whenever I hearing Waspinator say "I" instead of saying Waspinator. Usually we're used to him saying Waspinator. Waspinator, nothing so. Wait for Waspinator. And funny enough, Merman from in some cases when he was in the original He-Man, he sounded like Sea Spray from Transformers G1. That's because he's voiced by the same guy who played Sea Spray in Transformers G1. Also played Man of Arms and Skeletor. Merman always sounds like a Transformer, that's what I'm saying. Except in Masters of the Universe Revelation, which I know not a lot of people are fans of, but a lot of people but I always kind of funny that Merman and Skeletor in Revelation would be the last time we hear Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy together. Yes, the Dark Knight and the Clown Prince of Crime from Batman the Animated Series, they had their last on-screen voice roles together in Masters of the Universe Revelation. And it is a sad thing to know that that Mark Hamill has retired from being the voice of the Joker, saying that without Batman, there isn't crime has no punchline. Actually, he's just he without Batman there isn't a he said there isn't a Batman for me without Kevin. Okay, also bear with me guys because it requires some coloring. I better include some of those wings as well. Nearly done, fellas, nearly done. Oops. I have to keep saying oops a lot. Let's not forget the little Decepticon symbol. No. No, though. I don't know if I should although I do like to animate, I do wonder, should I do a voice demo, like do some videos where I do as many different character impressions and try and see if it can, if some people, how do I say this? If I should do a voice demo and showcase as many different voices as I can to showcase how well my range is, and see if anybody can hire me for any fan projects there are. Like if anybody wants me to voice a particular character, they want me to voice like a fan character, I mean, sometimes I like to do a lot of voice impressions of Transformers and even characters that I haven't been super familiar with, but once I got to know them, I mean, some people, when they voice a character, they may sound a little underperformed at first, just whenever you look back at them, but over time you gradually get used to them. Sometimes that happens. In fact, the original Teen Titans, when I looked... Oh dear. oh my. Oops. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Sorry fellas, a bit of a snag there. You can't have, like, Rhino Ranger's face be covered up. I am so sorry fellas, but, nope, that's not right. I'm afraid I had to get rid of the wings. It's because, I'll just put them over, I'll just have them over here instead. Sorry about that little snag there. I didn't see that my character, that Waspinator's wings were blocking my mascot's view. And let me just also let me just make it push him there a little bit. No. Hey, bud. That's more like it. That's more like it. Okay, finally, final character, guys. Final character. All right. Let's see. Who's got the last one? Towards Eternal Star. Yes, Sparky, Fizzy. Yeah, I kinda spent a bit long trying to draw Waspinator, so I need somebody super quick, super fast. I heard that with the Kif, I heard Kif is getting a new season, and while another show that I've grown super fondly of is might get left in the dust because there was although it. Sorry, I'm just thinking to myself. Kif's getting a new season, but they haven't announced a new season for Haley's on it. Yeah, apparently there's been a worry that Haley's on it might be ending prematurely because on Spotify the voice of Haley Banks's voice actress's Spotify had this info saying that Haley's on it is short-lived. This got a lot of people worried that perhaps Haley's on it is being canceled, and season 1 is its final season. However, the production secretary has informed people that Haley's on it is not canceled, but it has not been renewed for an extra season. I'm hoping that it says it depends on the ratings of both Disney Plus and the Disney Channel in order to see it. So I'm hoping that if anybody's watching this, I'm hoping that to spread some love for Haley's on it, have it last for at least one more season. But if we cannot get an extra season, well, make sure the grand finale it has a great grand finale. Like I mean, when Ghost and Molly McGee got canceled because of low ratings on Disney Plus, the crew behind the show, they were granted one last episode as a definitive way of ending the franchise. Jeez. And season 2 was originally just going to be 20 episodes. Was originally going to be just 20 episodes, but they were granted one more, and they were planning a season 3, but unfortunately that was canceled. At least 3 season 3 scripts were made, but again they got scrapped because low ratings. But they were granted one more episode for the season as a grand finale. I'm hoping for that for Haley's on It if we cannot get an extra season. I mean, I know a lot of people like Kif. I thought it was all right. Neat. Same with Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I thought the show is all right. Neat. But I am aware of how many people love that show as well. And perhaps you can spread some love for Moon Girl too. Whoops. In fact, I'm not sure what's happening at Disney Television Animation at the moment. I mean, we all know how it treated the Owl House, saying that the show did not fit the Disney brand. And instead of a possible season 4, we only got 2 full seasons and a series of half an hour shows. And you know what? I don't think Waspinator needs chopsticks. He'll just do it by himself with his I am aware that Disney is currently having a bit of a financial trouble because a lot of their films have been bombing this year, especially Wish and The Little Mermaid remake. But I am certain that they might be able to find some way to get back on their feet. Neat. In fact, I noticed when it comes to Disney, they tend to go up and down on whenever they tend to go up and down every decade on their box office. Yes. For example, 1930s, they were successful with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. 1940s, their films bombed like Pinocchio and Fantasia, and they had to resort to making package films like Ichabod and Mr. Toad. They came back up again with the 50s with Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty. 60s, they maintained that success, but unfortunately Walt Disney passed away that decade. In the 70s, they were slowly decreasing, and in the 80s, they went downhill massively thanks to the Black Cauldron. But then they came back up again in the 90s thanks to films like Beauty and the Beast and The Lion King. And went back downhill again with Treasure Planet and Home on the Range, and decided to temporarily ditch 2D, but then they got back up again, and with in the 2010s with Tangled, Frozen, Big Hero 6, Zootopia, etc. And now here we are in the 2010s when they gone down again one more time. But I'm sure they'll pick themselves back up later this decade or next decade. I'm sure they're still more financially stable than Warner Brothers at the moment. Seriously, when can we get our hands on the leaked Coyote vs. Acme movie? Anyways, that's it. That's it for the request ping, but I have one more secret surprise. I need somebody to ask me to draw a dragon. Which dragon? Any dragon you want. I just want just a dragon. It can be a Chinese dragon, it can be a Western dragon, it can be any type of dragon. What do you want? Which one do you want? Let's see here. A lot of people wanted this year for Spyro 4 because it's the year of the dragon, and what a perfect timing. But unfortunately, we may not get it this year, or heck, we may not get it next year because something happened with Toys for Bob. Because of the layoffs with Activision Blizzard by Microsoft, nearly 2,000 employees lost their jobs. This also took out at least 40% of Toys for Bob, the guys who made Skylanders and the Spyro Reignited trilogy and Crash Team Rumble and It's About Time. They're yes. Now, and also recently, Toys for Bob just lost its office, but that's okay because whoever remains at Toys for Bob is now working from home. Now, this could mean I'm not sure how well, like I said before in that video, I'm not sure how well this is going to affect Toys for Bob in the future, or how they're going to be, how the games are going to be like. But I'm more worried about how the folks who got fired at Toys for Bob must be in. I mean, they currently have no jobs. They need something to do finance. They need to keep. They may have families to feed. How are they gonna cope with the loss of their jobs? That's what I'm concerned about. Perhaps Crash Team Rumble Season 3 will be the final season, or maybe they can have one more season for spring, and that's it. That's the end of Crash Team Rumble. We won't know until they make an announcement on that. I mean, Crash Team Rumble is just the season 3 is almost over, but hope for the former Toys for Bob employees the best of luck in the future, and Toys for Bob to see how well they are coping with these changes. They have worked remotely before, with Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time. In fact, everybody was working on the game at home during the pandemic. Okay, fellas, that's about it. And now, let us test this game. Let's test the game and let's test the animation, I meant. Hi, everybody. Glad you all made it here. What we're about to do is a Chinese New Year tradition called the Prosperity Toss, aka Yee Sang or Yusheng. All you gotta do is mix the ingredients together as a group. Now everyone get your chopsticks out. On your mark, get set, go! Okay, that's enough. Okay, fellas, dig in and have a happy Chinese New Year. Gong Xi Fa Chai. Yeah, this isn't one of my favorite traditions. I'll order some takeout. And that's about it, fellas. That's the animation. Again, I'll probably do some tweaking of it before I release the full thing, but yeah, that's. I'm quite pleased with the animation, and I swear one of them's got some liquor brand, even though I don't drink, and one of them's what the heck was that? Yeah, my question on about the super thanks request. Okay, what's the question again? What's the question again? What's the question again? I keep forgetting. What was it? I'm trying to find it as the. When will you do the super thanks request? Like I said, I'm thinking February 29th will be the earliest I can allow the super chat system to return, and as well as the super thanks system. Again, I'm still trying to finish the rest of the Patreon requests, as well as the whatever super thanks I had with the others, and as well, the unskippable ads. Use an ad block. Although I have heard that some people said that the ad block is getting a bit dodgy because they say the ad blocks are slowing down YouTube, and some people are just angry that YouTube is fighting back against the ad blocks. It's just take it easy on me, please. This is the first time I'm using a live stream on a different computer. Of course I'm going to be nervous a little bit, so cut me some slack, but yeah, I'll probably do a lot better in my next live stream, which will be about what animals are there that have thick skin? Well, there's an elephant, which I've done a request challenge back in 2022, and there's the rhinoceros, which is also thick-skinned, and I did a live stream in 2021. What's next? What other animal is on the list? What animal? Let's see. And yeah, I understand. I understand that this live stream isn't the best. I mean, this is me trying to get the swing of things again. I had a rough, like I said, few months. It's loss of a loved one, and having to spend my family with Christmas and Chinese New Year. It isn't always pixel and. Do you compare Tinkerbell's Secret Wings with Disney's Frozen? Not really. I think Frozen is more superior than Tinkerbell's. I don't trust that block. What was the Millionaire Request Challenge? I'm not sure, really. Do you ever read the IDW Transformers comics? I have a few actually. They're most of them are prequel comics to the Transformers live action movies, and I even have some IDW Transformers comics on G1 Transformers. Have you seen Migration? Yes, I have. Do you make audiobooks? I have not, and I don't really pay attention to audiobooks much. Do you think Periwinkle is similar to Anna and Elsa? Huh. Probably. But I think Elsa can survive on a summery day. Well, Periwinkle, on the other hand, she needs to be chilled. She needs to be chilled, literally. Have you played Poppy Playtime? I have not. From what I've seen, that Poppy, is that fluffy monster with the big blue monster with the red lips? And there's even this balloon gal creature. There's a balloon gal creature who kind of looks like Wanda from Fairly Odd Parents mixed with, was it Spindle or Spinal from Steven Universe? World Hippo Day begins on Thursday. Okay, fellas, thanks for tuning in into my live stream. I'll probably do a lot better in my next one. I hope you've enjoyed this video.